Welcome to this edition of Fuel for Thought. I'm Calum Macrae, Director of Research and Analysis in the Supply Chain and Technology Division at S&P Global Mobility. Today we'll be discussing key highlights from our annual consumer survey with a focus on autonomy. Now, as always seems to be the case in the automotive industry, it is at a pivotal juncture at the moment. Advancements in technology, particularly in advanced driver assistance systems, or ADAS as we know them, and autonomous driving are reshaping choices for consumers and adding complexity to their purchasing decisions. A myriad of interconnected technologies are at play. Advancements in ADAS technologies are marching ever onwards. While the primary reasons for ADAS technology investments by the OEMs remain enhanced safety, and as a stepping stone towards full autonomy, changes are happening apace in other domains. Chassis and suspension systems are changing to accommodate ADAS, automation, and electrification. The integration of ADAS and 5G connectivity is further driving vehicle innovation and increasing cybersecurity demands. Automotive interiors are also changing. They are adopting driver and occupant monitoring systems owing to regulations and automation. Now, S&P Global Mobility surveyed 8,000 consumers across 8 countries in 2024, revealing a global interest in ADAS features and growing trust in these technologies. Additional highlights from the survey include safety ratings and certifications are key influencers of consumer trust, and most global respondents would even be willing to pay extra for vehicles with higher safety ratings. Consumers seem to prefer bundled packages of ADAS features for comprehensive safety solutions, presenting both opportunities and challenges for automakers in pricing and packaging. Also, bridging the divide between consumer expectations and market offerings requires addressing trust issues, regional variations, and effectively communicating the benefits of autonomous driving. Now, amid this backdrop, I'm pleased to be joined by the report authors, Mariana Gongora and Vivek Beriwal, both senior research analysts at S&P Global Mobility. Okay, let's get started then. First, let's discuss the top findings about consumer sentiments around ADAS features. Mariana, can you share more?
Of course. Well, you gave a great intro, so let me continue and expand on that. First, the survey revealed that more than half of the global respondents have some degree of familiarity with ADAS features. And the particular ones people are most familiar with were park assist, collision warning, and lane assist. On the other hand, the features people were least familiar with were driver monitoring, automated parking, and automated driving. It is surprising that, in general, respondents are most familiar with low-level autonomy driving features. This can be explained because most automakers already offer them as a standard on their top trim and optional on their lower trim. In terms of desirability, the survey shows that blind spot detection is the most desirable feature, followed by rear camera mirrors. We think that this might be due to the already high penetration and also because people may already expect this or have them on top of mind. The survey also showed that the least desirable features are driver facial monitoring and occupant monitoring. This may be attributed to privacy concerns or due to some of them feeling uncomfortable with the idea of being monitored while driving. Even though currently driver facial monitoring is level 0 feature and as such is not crucial for basic functions. However, as we move toward more autonomous level like level 4 and 5, it actually becomes crucial for enabling automated driving systems and assistive technologies. And finally, in terms of willingness to pay for ADAS features, we observed an interesting trend. Users are less willing to pay extra for features they are not familiar with, such as blind spot detection, lane keep, rear camera mirror, and forward collision warning. This could be due to, again, the high market penetration of this feature, and they are already available in many newer vehicles. Consumers may perceive these safety features as more basic and expect them to be included in the base price of the vehicle. We also found that the highest global average price users are willing to pay for safety features is around $700. This was the case of adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, semi-automatic parking, and emergency braking, which are all higher in complexity than those expected as basic.
Thanks, Mariana. That's a great answer. Now, were there any surprising results in consumer trust in automated driving? And if there were, which ones and why?
So both the 2023 survey and this latest 2024 iteration found an increase in overall consumer desirability, with a minimum of 60% for each automated feature. Talking of self-driving cars, those categorized in the level 4 and level 5 space were found to be the least desirable. Something that is quite understandable and not surprising at all. What's happening is that many consumers do not have enough or any exposure to these higher levels of automation, and they likely remain skeptical of the technology or how it relates to their own driving experiences. So basically, as we move higher in the autonomy levels, the consumers are less involved directly in physical driving, the less comfortable they are. That said, respondents were more likely and willing to pay higher prices for self-driving functionality than ADAS features. In terms of global average, respondents were willing to pay a shade over $1,000, 1,005 to be exact, for self-driving functionality. And one other interesting result that we saw was around the different areas where self-driving capable cars may be enabled and used. The survey showed that highway driving is the most common area, with more urban scenarios coming in future launches. Rural driving is less common overall, but many respondents would value the use of automation in all three scenarios at somewhat similar levels. Overall, I think the 2024 survey found respondents were slightly more open to each of these conditions compared with 2023.
So it sounds like level 4 and level 5 autonomy are going to be an uphill struggle for the industry to get over. Now, these surveys that we carry out, they're very much an annual undertaking. So how does this survey compare with other trends that we've seen in previous years? And have you any sort of standout features that you see compared with last year, for example?
Sure, that's an interesting question, Calum. Actually, we didn't identify many major changes compared with the previous year, but this precisely allows us to identify and confirm clear growing patterns in both familiarity and desirability of ADAS features among the consumers. We also saw a slight increase in openness towards autonomous driving, however, consistent with previous years. And as I said earlier, respondents become less comfortable as the level of driver interaction declines. One final thing we found consistent with the previous year was that consumers are more interested in lower level of autonomy features, with more respondents preferring level 2 or less variants. Consequently, features such as self-driving functionality in level 4 and 5 were found to be the least desirable, while also being the one people were most willing to pay higher prices for.
Okay, thank you. That's very interesting. So, given this context, what are the ways that we think that automakers can position themselves to meet the changing needs of consumers in this increasingly technology-driven automotive industry?
Great question. From what we have observed in the market, there are a few things they can certainly do. The first one, the data collection. If automakers collect data from the ADAS sensors and cameras, they can retrieve valuable information about road conditions, traffic patterns, and driver behaviors. This could be used to improve technology functionality, understand behaviors, and develop product offering strategies to enhance consumer experience and unlock monetization opportunities. Another thing they can do is around connectivity. We have seen how the evolution from 3G to 4G and 5G has expanded the safety features and services that can be offered. This can already tell us that in order to stay relevant and competitive, automakers should focus on keeping up with this evolution so that they don't miss out on new business model and emerge from vehicle-related data. The last one would be OTA update capabilities. Automakers can leverage OTA to save cost and upgrade the car driving experience with ADAS features as well as its level of security after purchasing the vehicle.
So we've just covered the autonomy aspect of the consumer survey. Are there other aspects that we're planning in terms of consumer surveys later this year?
Actually, S&P Mobility runs every year 30 surveys. The one of autonomy that we just explained, and also 3 extra surveys around automotive megatrends, electrification, connected services, and user experience. So, including autonomy survey, these are the 4 core surveys that we run in an annual basis just to understand the change in the sentiments and thoughts of the consumers around this topic.
Okay, thank you. So very, very comprehensive consumer survey. All right, thank you, Mariana. Thank you, Mariana, and thank you, Vivek. I think we'll end this podcast on that note. So thank you both for joining me and discussing these results. And thank you to everyone for listening. Please don't forget to share this podcast link with colleagues and in your social media accounts whenever you can. Don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn at S&P Global Mobility and explore our products and offerings at spglobal.com/mobility. We'll be back for more Fuel for Thought next month. Have a great day, everyone.